Hey guys, this is Hannah and this is Bookworms Talk, and today we're going to talk about Effortless by S.C. Stevens, the sequel to Thoughtless. Starting a relationship with someone that you had an affair with, of course there's going to be trust issues, and that's what this book entails. So the D-bags get a break, and they go on tour for 6 months, and it is just the ultimate trial for Kiera and Kellan's relationship, because she doesn't trust him because he was a ex-man whore, and he doesn't trust her because when Denny left, she went to him. And so he thinks that when he leaves, she's gonna find somebody else. They have like the biggest trust issues ever, but they love each other so much and there's no question of that. Gosh, love is easy, trust is hard. I got to actually like Griffin quite a lot, as shocking as that may seem, because I was just as turned off by him as Kiera was, but he was just the comic relief because we had this impending date set before that they knew they were going to leave for tour, and so I'm just being dragged by it, and I can't handle the happy moments because it's just like, what, it's about to be gone. But Griffin made it bearable, and he made it so funny, and gotta let the Hulk breathe. Like, he was just my process for reading S.C. Stevens books has now become, you read it, then you read like a couple novels between that so that you forget. I repressed the emotions that I felt with the book before that. Then I'm like, oh, I love the story so much. I'm gonna start the next one. And then I realized, oh, that's why I took a break, because these emotions, these are back. Their relationship has new challenges every chapter, and it's exhausting, but I could not read their story. I am obsessed with their story. So I'm gonna see you guys later next time on Bookworms Talk, because I want to start talking details, so I will see you guys later if you haven't read it. Bye! Okay, one thing I'm gonna give Kiera. She is adorable. Kellan is right. She would think things like, down there? And at one point she said, naughty parts, and, Kiera. So Kellan wakes up so early because that's how it was in his childhood. You wake up instead of being woken up. It's always better that way. God only knows what kind of wake-up calls that boy got. Okay, so then when we got the details that they were leaving for 6 months, and I was kind of with Kellan on this. I'm like, why isn't she bawling? I mean, I was aware of that. I mean, the synopsis gave this away for me, so it wasn't a shock to my system, but I was like, there were wells of tears a little bit, and she's just fine. I was with Kellan. I mean, that could be easily misleading because she was a bawling fit with Denny and then not with him. But the thing is, she loves him enough to let him go and do that. It wasn't just Kellan's dream, and she already messed up with Denny so bad, so she can't keep him from his dream like she kept Denny from his. So in Thoughtless, I kind of thought that Kellan was the one that didn't have the filter. But compared to Griffin, Griffin was walking around Anna and Kiera's place, and he's like, gotta let the Hulk breathe. Oh, I can't not laugh at that. Oh my god, and then Griffin again. I'm just gonna Griffin it up right here for a couple minutes, you guys, because, like I said, I really do like him. The spin the bottle thing, and he kisses Kellan, and he's just like, what the fuck, dude? And I was laughing so hard. And back to emotional parts. Kellan's like, this isn't goodbye. There is no goodbye with us. And then finally Kiera broke down and says, no, I want you to stay. I don't care if I'm being selfish. Please stay. I don't want you to go. Please, please. And he's just, that's what he needed to hear, because I think that soothed a lot of doubt that he had about her really loving him, because he already has that doubt just ground in him. God, Kellan gave Ginny and Kate instructions to keep her from hoping too much. I mean, he knows her so well. He left her fucking letters. Kellan Kyle. Oh my god. Oh. That incredibly awkward, almost phone sex thing. And he was in a restaurant in front of other guys that he was touring with. It was, I was more embarrassed than she was, I think. Okay, well, he gets to come home for Christmas. I can do that. They can see each other. That's 2-month spans. But then that cruel boy. She's at the park in Ohio, and she's waiting for him, and he texts her, I can't make it. And I'm just like, that is so cruel to joke with her like that, because he was there, and he needed to see that she missed him, and he didn't believe that she missed him. How could... Kellan. That part made me realize that he's insecure in his own ways, how Kiera's more insecure by not measuring up to Kellan. He's insecure because he feels like he's not worthy of love, and we've always known that, but that was just another point that it really forced that at me. Kiera's mom's scrapbook that she had Anna take the pictures for of Kellan and Kiera, and she put it together, and it's for him to take on the road with him, and so Kellan got her parents plane tickets. That's a good way to start winning them over so that they can go and visit her. And he got Kiera promise rings. That could not have been a more perfect gift, because that's exactly what they were both feeling so insecure about, is coming home and the other one have found someone else. Denny's in town. Fucking hell. And so now she's not going to tell Kellan. So basically what I thought was going to happen is she's going to keep it a secret. Someone is going to find out and tell him. Then because she kept it a secret from Kellan, it'll be even worse and make it more suspicious, and then he's going to really think that she's been cheating on him, and it's going to look obvious. I mean, you got to hand it to Anna. The spontaneous flight to Colorado, and I thought that this is just the perfect time because it's going to fix her suspicions. And while she was there, Kellan literally set up a place for her to, like, insert the blanks. He would say, "Is there anything you've been holding off telling me?" And she didn't say anything. He's obviously keeping a secret because of the phone thing that happened at Christmas, but honestly, and I'm really mad that I caught this, and I blame for reading Aletha Romig books where I can pick up on stuff like this now, I knew it was the father. I knew it. I knew it was something involving his father, and I kind of thought his father would be this guy that's just after the money fameness, and I'm glad to see that he's actually a good guy from what I can tell so far. Anna's knocked up. Griffin. He blows pots in puppies' faces. So the moment that I felt like we were building up to this whole time, Kellan comes home surprising her, almost like a test. It was reminiscent of Denny, just like how she snuck up on him in Colorado. I can't really fault him for that because she did the same thing. But he shows up and Denny's there, and he's just like, "You're surprised to see me?" Because I'm sure as hell surprised, because Denny's there, and it's all of his suspicions. And then she tells him about the Cheyenne thing, and he's kind of pacified with that. She's like, "Me and Denny, there was nothing, I swear, I promise." And he's like, "Okay." And so he goes and has sex with her, and then she goes and is getting ready for work or something, and he finds Anna's pregnancy tests in his top drawer. Holy shit. And he runs, and they're pissed at each other because she doesn't know what's going on. She thinks that he's just decided to fuck her one last time, and he never really believed her about Denny, and he thought she was always unfaithful. But you really just saw the test, and that doesn't even excuse the way that he spoke to her. It doesn't at all. He has not been an ass to her in some time. I mean, like, really asshole behavior, but he was then. Basically called her a whore, said he wanted nothing to do with her, and at the same time I understood that because that is exactly what happened with his parents. And I think that the whole situation with how she had the affair with Kellan when Denny left, yes, that was there in play in his head, but I also think it was his parents' situation. And his dad comes back and she's pregnant, and he thought the exact same thing happened. So I understand the hurt that's there. It's so close to home. And then he's like, "Go ahead, pretend you're so innocent. Say you were raped. I dare you." I am still mad at him about that. Denny asks her how it went when he left, and she's like, "Kellan broke up with me," and then he's immediately, "I'll be there in 5 minutes," and my heart just swelled for him because he is so good to her. She called him friend and he called her maid, and it's this, and I missed Denny. So the situation's ironed out, and I really think Kiera caved a little bit too easily. But then at the same time, because he was leaving so soon, and it's not like you had all this unlimited time with him to sit there and be mad at him, so I get that, but I would have been mad for a lot longer than she was. I don't know what he would have done. I would like to think that he would be there for her had that situation happened, because it just makes me more mad thinking that, okay, so you were going to abandon her? And so the D-bags are back from tour, and then Griffin's there, and he's kind of pouting, and he's like, "Where's Anna?" And my heart, there is hope for you, Griffin. So when Kellan told her that it was his dad, and he has a sister, and he has a brother, and he has this whole family, and at Christmas, I felt like that's something that he wanted. And Kiera invited his dad and his whole family to her graduation party. And he's literally a spitting image of his dad, and the 10-year-old brother Rye, and he has a sister Haley, and I want this connection for him so bad. I want him to have that family, and it's just, I'm glad Kiera did that, because yeah, he was scared, but you know what? He needs to be pushed sometimes. And Abby, I love her. She actually got them to group hug. I did not think I would ever see the day that Kellan, Kiera, and Denny would group hug. Didn't think it would happen. Oh, Griffin wants the baby. If anyone can tame Griffin, it's Anna. And God, he started saying shit like in front of her dad about, well, I can still have sex with you, right? And I'm just, Griffin, stop. Filter. Then he moved her promise ring to her left finger, and they had their little mock wedding thing. That's just something I would picture them doing, something like that, and it wouldn't be this extravagant thing. And I mean, it was them, and I liked it. And it said that in their hearts they were married, and they knew that it wasn't legitimate, but that's what mattered. And it was such a good little ending. And there's this whole scene right before that where we're going and we're seeing her parents that are sitting there talking to Anna and Griffin. And then there's Ginny there, and then there's Evan and Matt and Rachel and Kellan's family. Everyone was just there, and it was like this sense of looking around, and I could envision it so well. And at one point, because Kiera graduated and she's an English major and she wants to write about them, and she started doing that a little while ago, and now she's really piecing it together and writing their whole story, even the tough parts, she realized that she sounds like the villain of the story. And I think this is S.C. Stevens speaking to her audience here, because a lot of us don't like Kiera, and I have had my fair share hate of that girl. At the same time, I understand them, and maybe I'm just feeling a little bit more forgiving after reading Point of Retreat. Yeah, she made this mistake by not telling Kellan that Denny was there, and she made the mistake of not breaking up with Denny when he came back from Tucson, and she's made mistakes, yes. Who of us haven't made mistakes? Maybe not that big, but she's not perfect. I don't want a perfect character. And she realized that she sounded like the villain in this story, but that it's what happened, and she's growing from it, and she's maturing, and they really all are. And Anna's maturing, and she's keeping the baby, and Griffin stepped up to the plate, and Kellan faced his fear and is talking to his father, and they're going out on tour, and they trust each other so much, and just everyone grew so much as characters. This book had a lot of funny parts in the beginning, so many that I didn't even write them all down, but there was one that I laughed especially hard at. His voice was like melted sex. Yes, melted sex. Yeah, lots of those parts. Funny things, yes. I really hoped you guys liked this. Let me know down there in the comments what you thought. What is your favorite out of the trilogy? But don't put any reckless spoilers down there because I haven't got to that yet. I will get to that after I read Sea of Tranquility, and I'm really excited for that one. So I'll see you guys later next time on Bookworms Talk.